Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm gonna do a stream today. Welcome to Essence Streaming. Good to have anybody that joins me here. One of the things I noticed on my last stream is that my audio volume versus the game volume was not quite good enough, so I'm gonna try a different volume level on the game this time. I felt like you just couldn't hear the game at all. You could hear me fine, but you couldn't hear the game. So let's go ahead and... The other thing that changed is I did find out that ProMods 2.27 came out apparently a little while ago, and so I downloaded 1.31 and had to get that going, which is part of the reason I'm starting a little late. But I now have 1.31 on, which means that it reparked me in my garage because as you can see, game change detected. The game had changed. I had to change mod versions, so I went in and did a bunch of changes on the mods while I was in there. So that means I am back in Salzburg, I think is where my garage is. So I'm gonna have to pick up from there, which when I left off with the last stream, I was in Russia, so obviously we're a little ways from there. I hate kind of making that jump, but I didn't have much of a choice on that front. And then I also noticed at the end of my last stream that I am still losing money and that my cash is going down. Technically, my net worth is going up as I pay off my debt, but my cash is going down. So we're going to keep going for a little bit, and hopefully I can get ahead of it at some point. But if we look at my company manager and I look at my drivers, my driver makes about $87 a day, so she's not adding a whole lot into things. But hopefully over time that'll get a little better too. So let's look at the job market. We'll go to the freight market. Okay, so if I go to Salzburg, what do I have? Now I've got a better truck, but I still feel like 44 tons is a bit overkill for my truck. So let's see. That goes to all the way up to Sweden. That's a long way. Especially when I really want to go south. Oh, what had I decided might be... Hopefully I fixed that. Hopefully we're not going to see a game crash today, but there's no promises. Just one sec. I'm going to go turn my AC down a bit. It is getting warm in here already. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm not sure why it changed screens. I don't think I did that, but maybe I did. Anyway. So, let's see. There we go. Okay. So, I must have... Oh, you know what? I tried to do a screen transition, and instead I ended up doing a Alt-Tab. Okay. So let's see. Now my Steam controller's acting up. I'm gonna have to pop my battery for just a second to get it to reset. I'm not sure what's up with that. Apparently everything's going south. It's working now though. Okay, we're back. So I still want to go south, but I don't know as I'm going to really get that choice. I go to France, Hungary. I'm not getting the chance to go south. Is there anywhere else in Austria I can go? You know what? I wonder if it's because I have it set to focus on longer routes. So maybe if I go No. Okay, job market. Freight market. Okay. I wonder if there's another, like if I went over to Linz or something. Can I get something that goes south? Or what if I go to Innsbruck? I don't want to lose money that badly though. Okay, so I'm in Salzburg. Go to Ukraine. Or up through the Czech Republic to Germany. Or I guess that's to Poland actually. All the way up to Sweden. No, maybe we'll do that guy. Brake fluid. Now this will be an interesting trip because it's a really light load. You know, let's do that. We're gonna do France. We're gonna head over to Le Mans, France with an extremely light load. So set GPS. And then, okay, so I'm gonna actually, apparently my throttle was stuck for a second. So I'm going to talk just a little bit and then I'm going to listen to myself so that I can see how I compare with the engine sound and stuff to know whether I'm doing pretty well. Okay, we'll give that a try. I still sound like the engine might be a little quiet, but it should be better than last time. Let me take a look at my settings really quickly, and then I will be right back. Yeah, see, I think it's back. Okay, we're gonna try that. So I just, okay, so now I'm back to that. So if I rev it kind of hard and talk at the same time, how does it sound? I was going to do a quick test recording to test this, but the problem I ran into is that I actually couldn't. I came in to do a test and then I realized that I hadn't changed all my mods for the 1.31 update. Okay, I think that's probably as good as we're going to get. So I'm going to turn this volume back down, and then I'm also going to see if I can do that. That might work. Okay, get the bug out of my ear, and let's go ahead and start driving. So go pick up that and head to France. Oh, that's neutral. This is Scania layout, not a Volvo layout. Okay, so push that guy the rest of the way in. And there. Come on. Okay. So I was just playing American Truck Simulator. I actually debated on streaming because I had it updated to 1.31 and I downloaded a bunch of mods for it and stuff. I thought about streaming that instead, but the problem I actually run into is it keeps crashing on me, so I've got to figure out which of my mods is causing the crashing problem, because one of them is. So if I can figure that out, oh, I'm on. And then maybe I'll stream that again, but I actually tried to do the, oh, before I get a ticket, but I tried to do the new Yosemite road and it crashed there and I thought it was something to do with that. And then I changed a bunch of mods and stuff, and after changing the mods, then it reset itself like I expected it to. And then I got driving from Las Vegas, and shortly outside of Las Vegas, it crashed again. I am totally almost on top of that guy. I can't even see him. Anyway, I got just outside of Las Vegas and it crashed again. So I'm gonna have to figure out what of the mods, if it's one of the mods is causing it. Because when I was troubleshooting it before, I had taken off everything except for trucks. And it was still doing it. And the place it was actually doing it was right when you go through the stop for Yosemite. And I was there for that, and then you go around like the first bend after you leave the stop for Yosemite, and it would crash. And I don't know what was going on. I haven't played the 1.31 before, so I'd never gone through Yosemite. Now today when I was playing, I loaded a whole slew of mods because I was a long way from Yosemite and I wanted to try out some more trucks that I had found and a bunch of other stuff too. And then it crashed, so I'm not too surprised it crashed, but I'm not sure what. I may have to start up a game and just, I don't know, slowly add mods or something so that I can see which one maybe is causing the problem. But anyway, I'm gonna do a fairly short stream tonight. I've got other things going on, and I don't have time for a long stream, but I did have a little bit of time and wanted to play some more. Anyway, I do want to, that's a little bit off. Looking at whether that screen looks pretty good, whether my screens are off or not. I think we're probably, he's still just a little bit, something like that maybe. That looks pretty good. Okay. And I'm going insanely slowly. I'm not going to make this light. Totally made it. I did not think I was going to make that. Okay, so here is my pickup point. We'll pick up this trailer. Looks like it's the one straight ahead of me there. Okay. And we will go earn money for your company. Take the job. Nope, and I totally just hit my, damn it. Let me fix that. Okay. Okay. It is a little bit too far towards me. Okay, that's better. Okay, we should be good to go. And I think I just hit that again. Okay, I'm gonna have to set this down somewhere else because otherwise, maybe I can set them down right there. Okay. Let's go ahead. That's not a gear. Take off the parking brake. My tag lift should be up. Is that true? Nope, my tag lift is not up. Okay. That should give me some extra mobility while I'm loading up. And really, for this light of a trailer, I could probably do without it, except for the fact that it makes it even more unstable than a truck that isn't a tag lift. So I probably shouldn't. I don't know, maybe I'll go ahead and do that. Just do a delivery with only the one axle down and see how it does. Because this is really quite a light load, so it may not matter too much. I mean, I did like half of the one load with it without too much issue. Over to the right. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong mirrors. Using the cheater mirrors. Let's fix that. Okay. And we will set the parking brake. Oh, that's really bouncy. Okay. Pop out. Maybe I can... Well, you know what? I can set this guy right over there, maybe. Okay, we'll go ahead and attach the trailer. And then, in case I forget to, let's go ahead and take a screenshot right now. I redid some of my controls since I was on last, so I'm hoping the screenshot's going to go better than it did before. I was struggling to get everything right, but I think Let's see. I think I redid it. So this is move it around. This is up and down and left and right. And so I think it may go a little bit easier this time. There we go. Something like that. That'll work. Okay. So now let's hop back in the truck and we will head out. Did want to look really quickly. So this is a 4 tons. This is a really light load. Yeah, I should be able to run without those. I may be a little wobbly, but at least legally wise, I should be fine. Okay. So, parking brake. Okay. Wrong gear there. I forgot to do the range splitter. Man, this is a short trailer, and it is not heavy. This should be fairly easy. Ooh, I do need to fuel up at some point, but I can probably wait until my next rest stop. Which, if I look at the time, will be in about 3 hours. Oh, that's not my turn, it's the next one. About 3 hours, so about, actually, I should start about midnight. I should be looking for a place to sleep. Okay? This is my entrance. Okay. And I gotta remember that I'm supposed to be revving higher before I shift. I still don't like to do that, especially after playing a little American truck today. But this whole time, but looks like I'm going to be doing that to begin with. Okay, and you know, I might as well just stop. Let's go ahead and we're going to pull over here. Okay. I don't need that turn signal. Sorry, I just had declined to call, but press the following key to stop the engine. Well, with this is not much of a start yet, huh? Okay. Let's go ahead and get some rest. Driver made $108. Look at that. Okay, back to here. And let's start this engine back up. I don't need the lights anymore since it's nighttime, and I should be able to get fuel right up here. Okay, just a second. Sorry, that was my nephew calling me, so I felt when he called a second time, I probably ought to make sure it wasn't something, you know, that was really important. He just wanted to talk. Anyway, cute kid that finally has learned how to use the phone, so there you go. My mic is unmuted. We should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and fill up right here before I get up to speed. Oh, a little bit too fast. Okay, now parking brake, engine, hop out. Man, I'm like making stop after stop here. Let's go ahead and hop over here and we will fill up. Okay. 700 euro, 800 euro, 1,000 euro, 1,000 euro, almost on the dot. Okay, let's get back in. I do like the extra sounds that get thrown in there when you're starting and stuff. Okay. Now I've got a full tank. I should actually go to the dash display to where's my trip? I'm gonna do a trip reset. No, not you. Apparently I didn't set that for trip reset. Okay, that's okay. Let's get on the road here. Okay. Speed limit is 80, which I am almost to. Ooh, and now I'm over. Let's go back to my cruise. Okay. Cool. Rastata Kimze. Rastata Kimze. Man, that was hard. That was a lot harder than I thought it would be. So anyway, yeah, I was trying out. I was going through because I found out that ProMods had already done an update to work with 1.31, which I was waiting for them to, and apparently they already had. So I downloaded that, and that prompted me to look and see what other mods I had that were updated, and that prompted me to look at the American Truck Simulator mods, and went down that whole rabbit hole. But I got most of them up to date, and so then earlier, before I decided to stream, I was trying to mess with those and stuff, see which ones were working, and I had a crash on me. Anyway, so then I got ready for the stream, and it was like, went to launch it. You know, it usually takes about 5 minutes for ProMods to load up on my computer, and so I threw it in there. Apparently they don't want to go that way, and then I went to launch it, and I was like, oh, I gotta check the mod manager. So I went into the mod manager, and it was saying incompatible mods. And I realized, oh, I hadn't actually spawned the 1.31 update. I still had it set to use the 1.30 version for outdated mods, or for mod compatibility, I guess is what it says. And so then I had to let it update, and then I had to enable the mods, and anyway, so it ended up taking longer than I thought it would to be ready for this here stream. But I am here. There we go. And that guy is like all over the place. And I'm going to be turning right, which means I have to actually exit. Okay. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down. And not the right exit, the left exit. Did that say Mönchengladbach? I'm not sure. Okay. Get that going. See if we can get back up to speed. Man, my frame rate just tanked. I'm coming in. Oh, it's München, not Mönchengladbach. It's just München. No wonder my frame rate is tanking. It always tanks in the big cities. Oh well. Let's start slowing it down, because I'm sure it's going to drop my speed limit on me here in order to try and get me a speeding ticket. Even if it doesn't, this looks like it's pretty narrow area. Cool. I do like the tunnel. Good effect. Okay. Coming up out of there. And my speed limit is still 80. Okay. I was sure that was going to be a speed trap. Okay. Back on the road. I do hope at some point, now obviously ProMods goes through and there's other people. I noticed there's a Frankfurt rebuilt mod, things where other people are going through and rebuilding the main areas, but I do wish that at some point SCS would go through and show some love to Germany and Austria that were in the original game and don't quite hold up anymore. Apparently, streaming just makes me tired. Let's see. I have 7 hours till I need to sleep. So at 1700, I need to start looking for a place to rest, which will be about halfway to my destination. If I push that, what was that again? 714. So if I look at that and say, okay, 7 hours, if I pushed it, I could do it almost to midnight. or no, almost to 10, about to 10. But out of the 16 hours I have, apparently I'm losing speed. Why am I losing speed? Is it that steep, really? I did not even realize I was too busy doing when I need to sleep math. I guess it's okay because the speed limit dropped, but so 7 hours. See, I'm gonna end up with two more sleeps before this is done. You gonna let me over? They are, but only because I was forceful about it. Okay. Now we're going back down the hill. Cool. Well, this is a pretty cool little area. Here I just get through saying that the original areas are kind of boring, but this is kind of interesting. Maybe this was part of an expansion, but I think this is all part of the original. That having been said, this could be pro mods as well, so there's that possibility. Man, this is quite the hilly country. Okay, so I have a speed limit of 60. And, oh, I'm coming up on that. I better start slowing down. Come on. Not that much, though. Oh, that's not a gear. Okay. Garmisch, Pay, and Mittenwald. Okay. So I was looking at one of the mods on American Truck, which I think would be a useful one to do. There's a guy who does specifically a mod for realistic engine values, right? Which is a good thing. But one of the problems is actually probably with the engine, where you can't start off without holding in the clutch. So whether it's the engine, whether it's the clutch, whether it's the transmission, on a regular truck, on an actual semi, as long as you're not doing something wrong, you should be able to start without giving it any throttle. You should just be able to let the clutch out and have it start off. Ooh, this is quite the little windy road. And so that's one of the things that bothers me, and it came up with my last truck especially, which I think may have been a drivetrain mod. But I think the reason that it's coming in is because that mod in particular, and there are other mods like it, try to, as realistically as possible, match the torque curves of engines in real life, and I like that. But I think because of the game engine, whatever it is about the game engine is making it where that actually doesn't work. And so there's a guy who went in and did a mod on American Truck that was to fix that, so that you could start out without having to give a throttle like you should be able to in a real truck. And so that was something that he had changed, and I was going to try that because I think that would be a worthy change. But the mod he made in particular is only the original engine, so he doesn't do any of the add-on engines or anything, which is fine because there are lots and lots of add-on engines, so I can understand that. But it might be something that people who make add-on engines or modified engines or whatever might want to take into account. And what the guy was saying is that under default, all the engines are set up that at 300 RPM, it goes to 0. And so basically, if you get very close to 300 RPM, because you put in certain points and then it figures them out based off the points. And so if you if you have your points spread out too much, like, okay, let's do 800 RPM, and I totally just caught that. Let's do like 800 RPM, right? Oh, that was not what I wanted. And then like 300 RPM, well, in between there, it's going to drop off from, say, 70% to 0. And so in that lower RPM, it's going to be very quick that it just drops off. And so he went in and modified those so that it didn't happen so quickly. And so that even at 300 RPM, it had like 20% of the maximum torque or something, so that you would be less likely to stall out, which was an interesting take. And so it got me wondering, well, how much does it take to modify, to make a mod? So if I wanted to make a mod that met my particulars, where it was, take the more realistic torque curves across the board, except for on the starting torque, so that it works right, could I modify something like that anyway? So, because I've got that Volvo drivetrain one where it tries to make it realistic, but it seems to also make it stall out really easily when you're trying to start. So that was just something that I got looking at, and I think my mistake might be, so people were saying, just unzip them, and then you've got text files and stuff. And so I just grabbed a random truck mod, and I was trying to look at it, and all of the files were 0 kilobytes with nothing in them. The files were all there, but it looked like there was maybe some data problems on all of them. And I actually wondered if maybe the problem was, I saw someone mention using WinRAR, which I don't have WinRAR, I usually use 7-zip. And so I'm wondering if that's actually what the issue is that I'm using the wrong utility, and so they're getting corrupted in the process. But I don't know. Sorry. That guy was gonna pass me, and then I sped up just a little bit too much and he had to give up. Okay. Ooh, Isabella already got paid again? Didn't she just get paid not too long ago? Like, right after I took my rest stop? I mean, I'm not going to complain that she's getting paid, especially because it says she got paid $250 that time. I mean, that's decent wages there. Let's slow down. Unless I was paying her. You know what? That might be what it is. Is that I was paying her wages? I'm not sure. I think she just gets paid when she makes deliveries, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Let's get up to speed now. 80. That was a way cool little mountain road. I didn't say much about it, but I love those little windy roads. A lot of fun to drive. So we'll go for like 83. Or oh, I've got to turn off my engine brake. Okay. And I'm in high gear at this point. Again, I was just playing American Truck, so I'm looking for 8 high instead of 6 high. But I'm already there. So I hadn't really premeditated anything to talk about this time around. Oftentimes I'll try to decide what I want to talk about on my stream, but not always. And this is one of those times where I didn't necessarily premeditate something. I am listening. If someone were to hop on the chat and make comments, I could comment on that. But going back and playing American Truck, it had been a while since I played, and I've kind of been harping on American Truck during this game, that in a lot of ways I don't like it as much as European Truck, but playing it again made me remember that it does have its own charms. Like, there are lots of things that are different, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing. Man, I almost thought that was a telepass, and I was just going to try and roll through it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that it's different, but it is different. It's different, but there are also things that are good about it just the same. And so hence really trying to decide whether I was going to do a American Truck stream or a Euro Truck stream, because both have their niceties about them. My stream on American Truck is also a hard economy, but on that one I'm using classes economy, and I think I'm more a fan of that one. It seems to be a little better thought out. We'll see. I mean, if I end up just continually losing money on this one, then I may switch over to classes mod, and hopefully it won't mess things up too horribly. But oh, I'm totally speeding because it's only 70 through here. Anyway, just playing on classes economy mod, I think it's a better thought out. So it's still difficult. I mean, if you crash and if you know, do things that wear your truck and whatnot, you're still gonna not make profit. But the difference isn't so razor thin as it is. I mean, like, literally, I'm not sure. And in fact, I'm gonna take a look real quick. So if I look at my company manager, I wonder if I can see those old messages again. I don't think that I can. So if I go to the company manager and I look at my driver, how much does it say she's making? 138 a day now. I wonder if I can see any more information about her. Oh, show log right here. So, or 185. Okay, so she did racing components, cool. To Salzburg for 250, 108. So I mean, that one was a pretty good pay. But I still don't, with the numbers, they're not adding up, and I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just going to, despite actually having my net worth go up, I'm going to slowly eat myself into the hole, basically, and never be able to get back out. And hiring another driver, I don't think will fix that. I think it's just maybe a little bit broken that way. So we'll see. I'm going to give it some more time. We'll see how it comes out. I've got €134,000 to burn before I have to worry about that. And I can take out bigger loans. I actually have that capability, and maybe that's, you know, maybe I just end up balancing my debt until I finally get enough people on my payroll that I'm covering that debt. I'm really not quite sure how that's going to work. But like right now, I could take a $500,000 loan out and pay off both my 250s for less, although I think it's actually a 750 at a lower interest rate, but I actually have a higher monthly or daily payment or whatever at that point. So I'm not sure how, I'd say maybe that's the way to go is, but then it's also hard for me to tell whether I'm making money or not, because all the numbers are so big. You know, if I've only got a couple $1,000s in the bank, it's easy to tell whether that's going up or down. Even right now at 134, it's kind of difficult to tell. But if I have 750,000 in the bank, or I guess it would be like 500,000 or 300,000 after I pay everything off, it would be even harder to tell, because the numbers would just be so big that they wouldn't matter much, and I don't want the numbers not to matter. That's kind of the point of playing on the harder economy, is that numbers should matter, and if I get too much money in the bank, then they're not going to matter to me anymore. Oh, apparently I was in 5 low that whole time instead of 5 high. And is this my, no, this is not my delivery location. Oh, which I did not even do that. Okay, so if I look at the map, normally I look at the map and I decide places. Oh, so I've been here before, and I've been to Zurich, and I've been to Bern, I've been to Geneva. Okay, so I've been as far as Lyon before, and then from there I'm going to be going on past Clermont, so I ought to go ahead and swing out this way so that I get another city on my map. And then here, I actually want to swing around past whatever that place is first. So let's go, no, let's get rid of you. And if we go over here, that will work. Okay, so get rid of that. Did it just change which freeway it was coming in on? I think it did just change which freeway it's coming in on. Huh, okay, well, maybe that's just a more main thoroughfare. Okay. So, that should do for that. Get me a couple of new locations along the way. Okay. Okay. And now we are going to go into France. So this is my entrance into France, huh? My port of entry. Braking too hard. I might need to go check my brake sensitivity real quick. Because it seems to be, it was doing that on an American truck too. It was just like, boom, all the way there, which it should not be. Yeah, I'm like barely pushing to get all of it. Huh. Well, I can't change that right now, but that is good to know. Okay. Oh, I did do some more reading on roundabouts. Now, the ones I was specifically looking into were the rules for American roundabouts, so they may not be the same for European, but they may be. So what I found is that it actually... Oh, no, that was Lichten. That wasn't France that I just went through. Where was that? Innsbruck. I don't even know. I can never figure out. Maybe I have to look on a real map because I can never figure out what that area is. Oh, so roundabouts. And so apparently on 2-lane roundabouts, so I was doing this wrong. On a 2-lane roundabout. Oh, hey, I've got a... Sorry, just a second. Eres tan feo que... Sorry, I do not speak... Okay, caveat. I am trying to learn Spanish, but I don't actually speak Spanish. I wish... So, anyway, just a second, let me... Because my speech... there's a thing that's supposed to transfer that to speech so that I can hear it, and it's not working. Let me see if I can figure out why. So give me just a second. Did it not? Oh, you know what? It may be because it was... No. Why was that? Okay, why is it doing that? Okay. Store the chat. Do the pop-out chat. I wonder if I should do that. Why is it not seeing that? Because I see it right there on my gaming page. Maybe I need to go like that? Sorry, I want to... I say I currently am slightly trying to learn Spanish, but I don't actually speak Spanish, so... Let's see, my channel. If I go to this guy. Nope. Huh. Okay, so if I go there, maybe. And I get rid of that guy. And then I pause that. Because those should be one and the same. But whether it is or not is another question. Okay, so I'm not sure why the speech chat is, oh, you know what, I wonder if it's just because it isn't picking up the current chat. That's what's going on. Okay. Anyway, thanks for the comment. Sorry I did not notice it earlier on. I was saying I am trying to learn Spanish, but the amount of Spanish I speak is muy poquito. So that's, you know, where I am. But anyway, so that's where I am on my Spanish knowledge. So there we go. And now I need to cycle back through all of these and get back going. Okay. Up to 80. Let's see. Oh, 80. That's right. Not 86. Let's go ahead and slow down just a tad. And we'll set it to 80. I'm getting pretty close to when I was supposed to be taking a rest, I think. Two hours from now. I can skip this one, I think. So I totally lost my train of thought there. Oh, so yeah, I never know. There's that little corner. I don't know if that's a corner of Australia. Not Australia. Austria. A little shrivel to Bobby. A corner of Austria or what? And like I said, maybe I need to look on a real map and figure out where that is, because I never seem to quite know where that is. And I always try and look at it on their map, and it's so many lines together that I can't figure out what country it actually is. Man, there's a tree growing out of the ground there. That's nice. Anyway, so we are now in France, I believe. I believe we've actually crossed into France at this point. So, and there are windmills and birds circling. So we must have something dead over here. Or they're hoping something is dead. And that is close there. Do not hit those. That was really close. Whew. I came a little bit too close on that one. But I did not hit it, so I guess that's okay. But I came kind of close. Okay. Anyway, so hopefully my speech chat will pick up anybody else who comments. 12 hours left on the delivery. Where am I going to stop for the night? Let's see. Or at least for part of the night. Innsbruck. Sorry, I'm looking back. So there's this little corner here, and I never am quite sure what that's a part of. Is that a part? It's got to be a part of Austria. It always acts like it's not. I don't know. Okay, maybe we're going to stop in Zurich for the night, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop in Zurich. Oh, wrong button. I was like, why is it not setting it? Okay, so we're gonna stop at Zurich for the night because otherwise we're going to end up too late. So let's see. Oh, we've got the crew set. I don't have to keep holding it. Okay. There we go. This is a pretty area. You know, I think France was the first DLC. And so we'll see how it looks as we get into it. I haven't driven all that much in France. And this is my exit. I haven't driven all that much in France. I have driven some, but I've never gone all the way deep into France. Nope, slow that down now. Okay, we can probably kick off the turn signal. Narrow guy. Okay. And then hopefully we'll make this green because I'm up to speed enough at this point that if I don't, I'm just gonna get a ticket. And we did. On ATS, I use the long yellows mod because the yellows in this game seem to be so short, and it makes a big difference. But I do not think that there is a similar mod for ETS2. So there you go. Let's see. And this is kind of tight little corners coming into Zurich. And slowing it down to 50 now. Not to 50. Okay. Cool little area though. Too bad you can't actually go on the elevated freeway there, but it is a cool addition. Oh, that's turning. I was like, the freeway just cuts off right there, but it's actually turning away from me, not being rendered. So okay. Man, those brakes are so sensitive. I really have to watch that. Okay, so let's start back in first low, and I don't want that on. But right up here is where I will be catching some sleep, right? I'm a little bit early, but not too bad. I'm not going to make it in one go anyway, so it's not too important to push it as far as I possibly can. I've only got about 20 minutes more here that I'm going to be streaming. I don't think I'll get done with this delivery, which is too bad. I usually like to do a full delivery, but tonight I just don't have as much time as I usually do. That's okay. I don't have as much time as I usually do, so I won't get to. But oh, you know what? I did not transition on the last time, so I've been driving on the wrong view here. Yep, I have been. So there you go. There's been nothing to see for like the last 10 minutes or something. Sorry, I hate it when I do that. Makes for a rather boring viewing when there's not even anything to be seen. So here is the hotel. So I'm gonna, just talk for a while with nothing to be seen, and then I'm gonna pull over into a hotel. How exciting is this? The stream's just a little bit worse off than they normally are. I won't say they're normally perfect or anything, but this one seems to be a winner. Okay, so we'll go ahead and park, and then hop out here and kill the engine. I'm gonna actually... Now would probably be a good time to get a second screenshot. Possibly a better one than my last one. In the dark, it just wasn't coming out so well. But, let's see. Come over here. Go down. Maybe aim it up. I'm going to come over just a little bit so you can see the hotel peeking out over that. Bring it that way. We're going to back up a bit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, screenshot. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a rest, and then we can drive through the night, apparently. Okay. There we go. And let's get inside that truck. And we've got to... Oh, that's really light. What is up with that? Did my... I think my... force feedback died. Why did my force feedback die? Okay. I might clear all of these. Yeah, my force feedback totally died. I wonder if it'll come back if I, like, cycle this or something. Because I do not want... Aha, it's back. There we go. I was like, that... I'm not sure why it died like that, but... Okay. Actually, I am gonna make that. Barely, but I did. Man, that was close. Okay. So now I will be hanging a right out of here. And then I will be hanging a right out of there. And get back on the road. Okay. On the road again. There we go. Let's see. Oh, I'm speeding fairly heavily. Let's drop it down to gear so I am less tempted to do so. And we'll go ahead and set a cruise. And it looks like up after these corners I'm going to want to get to the left, huh? Well, since nobody's there, leaving Zurich, I'm gonna go ahead and get over now. Okay, and then we're gonna have one of these sharp little turns, and I'm probably actually going to want to drop it into fourth. Give me a little more pull on the hill and a little less speed. Are we looking over there? We're looking okay. Now let's lay it on there. Pedal to the metal. There you go. Back on the road. Oh, that's why I keep like over accelerating and stuff, and it's because my load is so light. It's only 4 tons. I keep like wondering why I'm getting up to speed so fast. But it's only a 4-ton load, which means my overall weight is like 22 tons. I'm not that heavy. So for 500 horses, it's not a whole lot to pull. That guy's coming up on my right, so I better wait for him to pass. And then we'll go ahead and get over here. Hopefully it doesn't require me to be in the other lane, which I think it does. So let's go ahead and go back over. So these are the types of intersections that could definitely be spruced up a bit with a little bit of you know, work from Pro Mods or SCS or whoever it is to make them a little more interesting, because they're all pretty much the same, but maybe that's how they are in real life too. So and I'm going to wish that I wasn't passing him in a second, because I actually need to be over here. I'm gonna drop a gear. I'm gonna see if I can get around this guy on the next opportunity. Oh, actually, it looks like I may be coming up on my exit. Is that what's happening here? Because it's telling me I want to get over. So we'll go ahead and get over. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing in this lane, but it wants me to get over, so I'll get over. Just like I said I should. Oh. Don't look at the chat when you're going on a corner. Maybe it just... Okay, well, we're gonna Bern and Neufeld in 1,000 meters. You never pass on the right, especially in Europe. It's a big no-no. In America, sometimes, depending on where you are, it can be okay. In Europe, you don't do it, so don't do it. Okay. There we go. Really cutting it on the time here. I might be able to... I won't even be able to make it to my next pit stop, or my next rest area. That's okay. We'll put some kilometers under us. Let's see. Up 2, 3. We'll speed up just a tad. So, what is it, a week later now? Week and a half after getting the Thrustmaster TX. I'm still glad I made the purchase. I actually got asked by, I got asked today whether, because I mentioned the price difference between the old G920 at, you know, I paid $300 for it. They go for a little less than that now. Although, I wonder if the 300 was including the shifter, and that was why the difference. Anyway, so 300 versus the 725 that I put into the Thrustmaster setup, and I was asked, so is it worth it? I said, yeah, it is. Like, it, in my opinion, now everybody's, you know, price point is different, but in my opinion, it was worth it. I'm glad I did it. Maybe when if they drop the GTX 1180 or 2080 or, you know, whatever it's going to be, if they dropped it next week, maybe I'd wish I hadn't. Maybe I'd change my mind. But since they don't seem to have any plans of doing that anytime soon, I'm perfectly fine with my purchase. Glad I did it. But it is leaps and bounds above the G920 just on the quality of construction, the quality of the experience. The force feedback is so much better. In fact, I could crank the force feedback up and then give myself an arm workout just by doing that. You know, I mean, it's significantly different now. I don't have it cranked up currently. I think I have it set at like 85% in the driver settings, and then I do have it cranked all the way up in game, but then so the overall feedback is cranked up, but the individual sliders are down halfway or something, or less. They're not anywhere up near that range. On the G920, on the other hand, I actually kept them set pretty low as well, but the main reason I did that is because when there was very much force feedback going on, it just got so loud and rattly, like the chattering noise it made was too loud, and especially if trying to record a stream, that's all that would have been heard. So I would keep it cranked down at that point to limit the amount of noise, not so much. And because it didn't feel right anyway, the chattering feeling didn't feel quite right. Like it's giving you force feedback, which is better than nothing, but it was difficult to, I don't know, the realism wasn't there, so it wasn't as immersive as this force feedback was. So there was information that was being gained from it, but there wasn't really immersion being gained from it. So, am I just getting information so that I know when I'm turning too sharp? Great, it worked well for that. Although there was the dead zone in the middle where it didn't really give me any information. But if I'm using it for immersion, it wasn't really there. So was the Thrustmaster TX worth the upgrade? Yeah, it was. It was worth my GTX 1180 money. I'll have to start saving up for that again. Hey, my driver got 237 on income that time. I think she's getting better. And she leveled up again. Yes. Okay. I'm starting to get to the point where maybe it would be, once they level up like that, maybe it would be making enough money to make it worth it. And I am going to be losing speed on this hill, I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, not too bad. I mean, I lost a little bit, but not enough to warrant a downshift. If the hills were longer, I'm actually going to kill my cruise for a corner and then resume it. Anyway, so yeah, the Thrustmaster TX, amazing. I actually really love the rally add-on. I actually got in my personal car the other day, and we've got somebody pulled over up here. I got in my personal car yesterday or something after having driven for a while, and I was like, man, it feels a lot like my real car does. Like, the size difference isn't noticeable. Now, there may be a size difference there, but it wasn't so big that it was noticeable. I don't know if my car has a 13-inch wheel, or maybe it has like a 14-inch wheel, 35 centimeters, 36 centimeters, something, and I'd have to look it up. But the difference was not so much that it felt off. Now, my car doesn't have the biggest steering wheel around, so, that could be part of it. But the girth, the diameter, they were all, the size and everything, they felt right. And so I love this. There was a deal on the TX, I think it was the TX, bundled with the leather wrap shifter, which looked like a great shifter. And then I also looked at there was another one that's also a 13-inch one. So I think that the leather wrapped is only a 12-inch one, but there's another 13-inch one. No, maybe the other one's a 12-inch as well, that I saw recommended by somebody on YouTube. But again, I think this one was slightly bigger than that one. And he gave rave reviews about the other one. And there were bundles with those two, so I could have saved a little bit of money by going that way. But I think I mentioned before that I actually, it's the immersion that I'm going for. And if I could get an 18-inch wheel, that would be awesome. I could, 18-inch wheel and 1080 on the rotation instead of 900. That'd be even better. But this is good. And really looking at more than that, I think that the price, at least, for me currently, would not justify the difference in cost at that point. But maybe I would say the same thing I'm saying now, where it's like, okay, I don't have the money to spend on that setup, but maybe if I saved up for a while and then bought it, maybe I'd say the same thing I say about this, where it's like, yeah, it was expensive, but it was worth the extra money. Like, maybe that's the way I would feel about it. I also would half debated on seeing what it would take to mod a wheel onto this, make my own wheel, buy an 18-inch wheel and mod it on there. I mean, the thing would be massive. But one of the problems that I read about is then your paddle shifters are wrong. They're not at the right distance, which isn't too huge of a problem because I'm not actually like I don't use the paddle shifters as paddle shifters. I use them as turn signals. So I could probably do something to make that work okay, you know, or I might just be able to reach in for my turn signal. Maybe it would be too far away and it would be hard to do. And there are some people who make some adapters for this, and you actually have to have the middle out of this particular wheel to do it. So maybe that would be an option I could look at in the future, because I think that the base itself probably has a strong enough force feedback that it would still work well with the bigger wheel. It would still have enough feedback despite the larger diameter, the greater difference in leverage, that maybe it would still be okay. Maybe it would feel weak at that point and wouldn't do its job so well. But oh, I've got my engine brake still on. And actually, I'm going to leave it on. And we're going to drop a gear. The last thing I want to do is roll my trailer on one of these corners. And since this is all new to me, I think rolling my trailer would probably pretty much do me in for the near future on my finances. So it's definitely not something I want to pursue. This is a cool area. There's a part of me that would like to be able to, you know, look into the future and see ETS2 with a new engine and, you know, upgraded graphics for 2 or 3 years in the future and see what it looks like then. But I'll be happy with what I have, I guess. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it a stream. Thanks for anybody that watched, and until next time.